Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a continuation to my crazy stalker story. And if you haven't seen that video, you need to go watch it, because if you don't watch it, you're gonna be like, what's going on in this entire video? And if you've already watched it, then you're all caught up, and let's get started with the video. So in the last video, I left off while I was on the phone with my ex-boyfriend's coworker, and he was about to reveal to me why my ex-boyfriend was ignoring me for an entire month, thus causing me to be a crazy stalker. On the phone, he tells me the shocking truth that I had been waiting to know all along after a month of stalking and being a crazy woman. And finally he tells me that my ex-boyfriend has been out of the country indeed, and he laughs about the whole brain tumor thing. He tells me there's no such thing, and that the real reason that he's been out of work and out of the country, not answering anybody's phone calls, is because he's been in another country for the funeral of his father. He made absolutely no mention of losing his father, and I understand it's a touchy subject, but usually when something like this happens to your significant other, you want to be there for that person, and you'd expect that person to somewhat confide in you, or if not confide in you, just at least let you know what's going on. I'm also offended because I lost my father 2 years ago, and there were many times that I confided in him about that. So the fact that he wouldn't even tell me that his father had died, it just made me so angry. It made me doubt that we were even close at all. And on top of that, he lied about having a brain tumor. Like, who lies about having cancer? Seriously. So apparently there was more to the story than just the fact that his father passed away, and his coworker just asked me, did he put you up to this? Is this for real? And I told him, no, this is absolutely serious. I'm just a girl who's had her heart broken, and I just want to know exactly what's going on and what has happened so I can move on and stop acting crazy. So he tells me that his father passing away was just one part of the story, and that there are more things that I need to know, but he can't say them over the phone because he's at work. So he told me the only way he was going to tell me is if I met up with him for dinner at 5 o'clock. Is he asking me out on a date? So I agreed to meet up with him at 5 o'clock. This guy might be a creepy murderer that's gonna dump my body in a dumpster, but it's okay. I got my girlfriend. She's gonna come with me, and she's gonna make sure I don't get murdered. So my girlfriend and I head over to the restaurant where we're meeting the guy. She sits at the bar, and I see him walk through the doors. We get a table. The waiter comes over. The coworker is like, do you want to order any food? And I'm just thinking, no. Unless you want me to projectile vomit it all over your face, because I'm so nervous at what you might tell me right now. He orders himself some food. I order myself a much needed drink. And after some casual conversation, we finally get to the topic at hand, which is what happened to my ex-boyfriend. We now know that his father passed away and that he's been out of the country organizing his father's funeral. So that is somewhat of the reason why he was not able to contact me for the past month, but it doesn't explain the fact that my boyfriend chose to lie about having brain cancer instead of telling me that his father passed away. And his coworker is really beating around the bush. He doesn't want to tell me the full story. He's acting really concerned. He's like, are you okay? I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want to upset you right here in the middle of this restaurant. And then he goes on about this thing, how he thinks that this entire awful and awkward situation happened for a reason. I'm just thinking, is this guy hitting on me? Is that what he's getting at? He thinks that me and him should be together instead now? And at this point, I'm just thinking, why is this happening? Is my life just a big joke? And in all realness aside, I cannot tell you guys the other part of the story just yet. Like I said before, I've received death threats on my Instagram. I've received death threats through text message. I know a lot of you guys might want to know like the story 100% exactly what happened. I cannot do that right now. There will be a part 3 to this video, which will also talk about the other main reason why he stopped talking to me, but I just cannot say it right now because of my safety and my family's safety, because my family is very much so involved in this as well. And I really appreciate you guys understanding that, and I'm telling you everything I can right now. So anyways, back to story time. He tells me everything that has happened, and I just start bawling my eyes out. I put my head down on the table and I start hysterically crying in the middle of the restaurant. And that was kind of our cue to end dinner, so we pay our bill and we're heading out the door, and I mentioned to him like, oh, well, it was nice meeting you and I'm gonna go back to the bar now because my friend has been waiting here the entire time just to make sure in case you were a murderer. So I'll talk to you later. Or not. Ever. And that's when he says,
oh, you have your friend here? Well, let's all go out. Drinks are on me.
And I'm just like, this is so weird. You just told me all of this awful information. You want to go out with us now? We go over back to the bar where my girlfriend is sitting and we introduce each other, and then we go to this place next door and we sit at the bar and we have a drink, and I'm just zoning out, being really miserable and depressed, and I'm not saying much. And my ex-boyfriend's coworker and my girlfriend are chatting it up, having a great time. And then I don't really recall exactly how this happened, but at one point, my ex-boyfriend's coworker and my girlfriend disappeared and like went to the bathroom. And they didn't come back for a half an hour. So I'm just sitting by myself at the bar alone, just like, what the heck is going on? Did he murder my best friend? Finally, they come back and they're like all over each other. And I'm just thinking, this is so insanely inappropriate. Like, I am going through a life crisis right now. I am obviously unhappy and distraught and my world has just been shattered. And this dude who was just hitting on me like an hour ago and my girlfriend who was supposed to be there for me are now like touching each other and making out. So the night drew to a close and I was upset and hurt, but I was happy to know the truth finally. But it just sucked because I did get the truth, but I got it from his coworker, and I didn't want the truth from some random dude that I barely knew that was groping my girlfriend. I wanted to know the truth from my ex-boyfriend. In my heart, I knew that I was not going to be able to get 100% over this until I heard it from my ex-boyfriend, and I had made it my mission in the back of my mind to get into contact with my ex-boyfriend somehow, and I didn't care how long I would have to wait. I just felt like I deserved closure. And after 2 weeks of receiving death threats and of not being able to get into contact with him, I was finally able to get into contact with my ex-boyfriend, and we finally set up a time and a day where we could meet up and he could finally fess up to me and tell me everything that I had been waiting to hear from him. But that will be in part 3 of this video and also in my book, so you guys will just have to wait for that for now. Also, side note, what ended up happening with his coworker was that he decided to try and pursue me. He started texting me every single day, and then I'd be like, well, you know, you did make out with my girlfriend kind of in front of me that night. And I was in like a really bad state of mind. So I did actually end up going out with him one time to go see Wicked, but that's because it was Wicked. But it didn't end up being a good day at all. I actually had a horrible time and the guy was such a creep and just, oh. So that is part 2 to my crazy stalker story. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys can understand that I can't tell you all of it just yet, but just be on the lookout for a part 3 to this video. So that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like this video, to also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!